Hey you guys, Stephanie here. Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, you guys, you already know by the title, I'm going to be sharing with you all what I eat in a day. So for the most part, throughout the week, I try to stick with a low carb, low sugar, low calorie diet, and I try to make healthy meals that taste delicious. But I am human. I do have my days where I do indulge in a cheat meal or two over the weekend. But the meals that I'm about to show you, they are typically the kind of meals that I would eat 4 to 5 days throughout the week. So without further ado, we have a lot of grounds to cover. I'm going to show you everything that I eat from breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. All right, y'all. So normally when I wake up in the mornings, the first thing I like to drink is my chlorophyll water. So to set it up, it's really simple and easy. First, you're going to need your chlorophyll drops, of course, and the one that I like to use is by the brand Earth to Humans. This is 100% organic, and I got this off of Amazon. I also like to add apple cider vinegar, and this is the brand that I use. It is by Bragg. And lastly, you're going to need your water, and I like to use bottled water that is room temperature. Normally, when I wake up in the mornings, I don't like to put anything cold in my body right away, which is why I prefer using warm water. So I'm going to pour about half of the water bottle into my glass, and then I'm going to use 1 full pump of my chlorophyll drops. And lastly, I'm gonna grab my apple cider vinegar and make sure you shake it well. You wanna make sure you're getting all the good stuff in the bottom, which is the mother. And I usually like to pour about 2 capfuls of my apple cider vinegar, give it a good stir, and that is pretty much it, you guys. I love to drink this, like I said, in the mornings. It gives me a great boost of energy and it helps me to get on and started with my day. All done. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this does not have the best taste. It low-key kind of tastes like dirt, but it is good for you. It's supposed to help to detoxify your body. It's also supposed to help to suppress your appetite. I've also noticed my skin has gotten clearer since I've been drinking these in the morning. And it also gives me a great boost of energy in the morning. So that's why I love to drink chlorophyll in the mornings. All right, y'all, so let me go ahead and throw on my gym clothes. I'm about to hit the gym, get a good workout in, and yeah, I will see you at the gym. All right, y'all, so today at the gym, it is back day for me. So I'm gonna be mainly doing workouts that are going to target my back area and my lats. And I'm also gonna throw in a couple of abdominal workouts as well. So usually I would try to work out about 3 to 4 days out the week. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I do fall off and I struggle to stay consistent, but that's the goal that I usually aim for. And if you guys wanna see me film a separate video on my fitness routine and what I do in the gym, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm not sure if you guys would be interested in that, but if you are, let me know in the comment section. So whenever I come home from the gym, my go-to post-workout meals are smoothies, and my absolute favorite at the moment has been the blueberry banana smoothie.
And this video is in collaboration with BELLWAY. Shouts out to them for sponsoring this video. They were so gracious enough to send me over some goodies. So the first item they sent over to me was their super fiber plant protein powder. And this is in the flavor vanilla. And I've been using it for about 2 weeks now, and I actually really like it. It's really high in protein. It has about 20 grams of protein, which is pretty high for a plant-based protein powder. And I also love the taste of it. It doesn't have that chalky taste. It's really good and it goes so well with my smoothies. They also sent over their super fiber powder, and this is in the flavor raspberry lemon. And I also really like this product as well. It tastes really, really good, you guys. For a fiber powder, I can honestly say that this is one of the best tasting fiber powders that I have ever tried. It helps to regulate digestion, and it's also great for weight loss. And lastly, they sent me their blender bottle, which I will use in the future whenever I want to mix up a quick protein drink.
I have all my stuff set up, and I'm gonna actually make some for me and my mom. So everything right here, I doubled it up, but I'll be sure to leave the link to the recipe down below so you guys could get the exact measurements if you want to make one just for one serving. So I have my blueberries. These are frozen blueberries, and I have 1 cup of this. I have my banana, and I would recommend when you're making your smoothie, if you could get a banana that's kind of ripe like this. Whenever I use a banana that's a little ripe, where it's about to, you know, spoil, it tastes extra sweet, and yeah, it just helps to make the smoothie more creamy. I also have my oat milk, and this is the brand that I use if you guys are curious. This is called Planet Oat milk, and I got this from Publix. Really, really good. I actually prefer oat milk over almond milk. I don't know why, but yeah, but either one you could use. You could either use almond milk or oat milk for this smoothie. I also have my vanilla extract. I got my cinnamon. I have my oats. And I just use, you know, regular old Quaker oats. I have my flax seeds. Now, I love to use flax seeds because it really helps to thicken up the smoothie. And I prefer using flax seeds over, let's say, Greek yogurt. I just feel like this is a better alternative. And of course, I also have my BELLWAY protein, which I'm gonna add to my smoothie. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Alright y'all, so before I go ahead and move on to breakfast, I'm actually going to prepare my detox water first. So as y'all can see, I already have everything laid out. I have my 1 gallon bottle here. I have my strawberries, I have 1 cucumber, my mint leaves, and 1 lemon. So starting off with the strawberries, I like to cut a lot of strawberries because I like for my detox water to taste a little bit sweet. So I typically would cut up around 8 to 9 strawberries, but depending on how you want your detox water, you could either cut more or less strawberries. So I'm just removing the stem off of the strawberries and cutting them in half so that they could fit into the bottle. Moving on to my cucumber, I typically like to use half of a cucumber, and I'm just going to slice them up, cut them in half, and this part is optional, but I like to get rid of the seeds that are in the cucumber. Just using my knife, I just fish the seeds out, cut them in half, and throw them into my bottle. Moving on, I'm going to cut up my lemon, and I like to use one whole lemon. And doing the same thing that I did with the cucumber, I'm going to remove the seeds from my lemon. Like I said, this part is optional, but me personally, I don't like for seeds to be floating around in my water. That's just my personal preference. And yeah, so I'm just gonna chop them in little halves and put them into my bottle. Next, I'm going to add my mint leaves. And I like to add a good amount of these leaves. I like to typically add about 4 to 5 whole mint leaves. And once I got everything in there, I'm going to, of course, fill my bottle up with water. So this may sound very weird, but I have a problem drinking water. I actually do not like regular water. So drinking infused detox water does the trick for me so that I could assure that I'm getting my water intake for the day. And it also works well to flush out the body and contribute to weight loss. All right, y'all, so moving on to breakfast, I'm gonna go ahead and make my egg avocado toast with tomatoes. And by this time now, it is around 11 a.m. and that's the time when I would typically eat my breakfast. I typically always eat a late breakfast. So starting off, I'm going to use one mini avocado, and as y'all can see, I'm just cutting around the perimeter of it. I'm gonna twist, and thankfully I have a beautiful ripe avocado for my toast. So using a fork, I'm going to scoop my avocado out into my glass bowl. And usually for my avocados, I'd like to prepare like a guacamole. So first thing I'm going to add is lemon juice. I like to start off adding a little bit of lemon juice. And if I feel the need to, I will add more lemon juice as I go on. But for my avocado, I like for it to have a nice thick paste. I don't want it to be too watery. I'm gonna take my Himalayan pink salt next, and only taking a pinch, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And from here, I'm just going to add some peppers. I typically like to add in some black pepper. I like to add a little bit of paprika, cayenne pepper, and I also like to add sweet onions. I love the purple sweet onion, so I'm adding a lot of it to my avocado mix. Give it a good mix, and that is it for my guacamole. So now that I'm done with that, I'm just going to move it over to the side. And next, I'm going to prep my tomatoes. So I like to pair my avocado toast with cherry tomatoes. And as y'all can see, I'm just taking them and cutting them into halves. Now, I love me some cherry tomatoes. It tastes so sweet, and I love to pair this with my egg avocado toast. And I would highly recommend that you get the cherry tomatoes over the big ones. These just taste so much sweeter. So I'm cutting up a good amount of my cherry tomatoes. And next, I'm going to take a little bit of avocado oil. I'm just going to drizzle a little amount on my cherries. Add a little bit of parsley, some lemon juice, a pinch of Himalayan pink salt, a little bit of black pepper. Give it a good mix, and that is it for my tomatoes. So I'm going to set that aside as well. And moving on to my toast, I'm going to use this keto bread. This is literally the only bread that I eat. I usually get it from Costco. It's super low in calories and carbs. As y'all can see, one slice only have 35 calories. And moving on to my pan, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of avocado oil onto my pan and place 2 slices of my keto bread. Now for this part, I would highly recommend that you toast your bread on a pan as opposed to throwing it in the toaster. It tastes so much better. It has such a nice crunch to it. And y'all, it just takes my egg avocado toast up a notch. And it also makes me feel a little fancy, low-key. It's giving restaurant brunch vibes. And if you see your pan drying out, go back in and add some more avocado oil. Typically, my toast takes about 3 minutes to cook on each side. And once my toast are ready, I'm gonna place them on my plate, move them over to the side as I prep for my eggs. I'm gonna be making fried eggs, so I'm gonna use a good amount of avocado oil. And I'm making sure my pan is coated all over. And for my eggs, I usually use brown eggs. And for this morning, I'm going to fry 2 eggs. I'm gonna crack them open and place them onto my pan. And from here, I'm adding my seasonings. I like to add a little black pepper, paprika, and a little bit of salt. And to make sure that the top portion of my eggs are cooked, I'm just using a spoon to pour a little bit of oil on the top, just to make sure that it's well cooked on top. And after about 3 to 4 minutes, my fried eggs are complete. I'm going to turn the heat off and move my pan over to the side. So now coming over to my plate, I'm going to grab my avocado mix and I'm going to spread a good amount on each slice. Next, I'm going to grab my cherry tomatoes and place them on the side of my plate. And lastly, I'm going to grab my eggs and place 1 egg on each slice. And for a little kick, I'm just adding a little bit of red pepper flakes on my toast, and voila, breakfast is served.
Oh, you guys, this looks so good. I'm about to go in right now. All right, so let me go ahead and reach for the tomatoes first. These tomatoes, they taste so sweet. In comparison to the bigger ones, these taste so much sweeter. It's so good. All right, let me try the avocado toast. This right here, so good. The toast is so crunchy. I would recommend, if you have time, toast your bread on the pan. If you just have that extra 5 to 10 minutes to spare to toast your bread on the pan, it really like takes it up a notch. I have my detox water here, so I like to put it in this little cup and I like to drink it throughout the day. So good. All right, y'all, so let me go ahead and finish my breakfast off camera. I want to enjoy this breakfast and I'll come back to you guys when I'm preparing lunch.
So now it is lunchtime, and for today I'm going to be making lettuce tacos. This is like one of my favorite lunch meals to make, and usually I eat my lunch around 2 p.m. So first I'm going to grab my ground turkey and I'm going to open the package and put it into my glass bowl. And before I put any of my seasonings in, I'm just going to give it a light mix just to break up the meat a little bit. And to start off, I'm going to take some garlic paste and I added in about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to add in a little bit of onions. I love me some onions, like I said, so I add a lot to my mix. I'm going to also throw in some red peppers, some parsley, and I'm also going to add in a little bit of apple cider vinegar, also about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to throw in some paprika. And this is optional. I like to throw in some Goya Sazon just to give it a little bit of flavor. And I put in about half the pack. Throw in some black pepper and a little bit of garlic powder. And that is pretty much it. I'm just gonna give it a good mix. Make sure all the seasons are well mixed into my meat. And that is it for my ground turkey. So next I'm gonna go ahead and prep my lettuce. I'm grabbing 1 romaine lettuce, and make sure that you rinse it thoroughly before you break it off into your plate. And I'm going to break off 2 for my lettuce tacos. And to remove that excess water, I'm just going to grab a paper towel and gently pat it along my romaine lettuce and clean up the plate a little bit. I had a lot of excess water. All right, so moving on to my pan, I'm gonna throw in some avocado oil. I had my pan on medium-high heat, and then I'm gonna throw in my ground turkey. Now, this really does not take long to cook at all. It only usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes to thoroughly cook it. So I'm gonna just put the lid over the top and just let it do its thing. Now, I do go in periodically to give the ground turkey a good mix and also to break the meat apart. So after about 20 minutes, this is what my ground turkey is looking like. It looked like it's ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead, turn off the heat and grab my pan over to my plate and add the meat on top of the lettuce. So for my toppings, I'm first going to add some tomatoes, I'm gonna add some avocados, a lot of sweet onions. I'm pretty much preparing it like a taco, obviously. And of course, we can't forget about the cheese. I'm using my extra sharp cheddar cheese. Add a little bit of parsley on top. And lastly, I'm going to grab some avocado ranch dressing and drizzle a little bit on top. This is a great alternative to sour cream. And the taste of this dressing really complements my lettuce tacos. So that is pretty much it for my lunch, you guys. And these lettuce tacos were a bomb. They taste so good.
Hey y'all, so it is well into the day right now. It is around 4:30 p.m. and before I go ahead and get dinner started, I'm just taking a quick little snack, and I'm also taking the time to drink my fiber powder. So to mix this, it was really easy. All I did was take 1 scoop of my fiber powder, pour into my glass, and then pour at least 8 ounces of water and mix it in really well. You want to make sure that your water is not too hot or too cold, or else the fiber powder, it won't mix well. So I just used refrigerated water and that was able to mix in really well with the fiber powder. So let me go ahead and drink this right now, because if you let this sit too long, it will start to thicken up. So not only does this taste good, but it also serves a lot of great benefits. Now I know fiber powders is mostly known to help with bowel movement if you're constipated, but drinking fiber powder could also help with weight loss. So that's another tip. If you want to lose weight, try drinking fiber powder throughout the day. And you could drink this anytime during the day, whether it's the morning or evening time. It really doesn't make a difference. You could fit it in your schedule anytime. So for my snack, this is usually what I like to snack on, and these are organic roasted seaweed snacks. Now I got mine from Costco, but you could find it pretty much anywhere. You could find it at your local Whole Foods market, Trader Joe's. I think even Publix might have seaweed snacks. But yeah, you guys, I really love snacking on this. Not only is it super low in calories, it's also low in sugar and carbs. It low-key makes me feel like I'm eating chips. And I think it's mainly because of the texture. It does taste really crunchy. It has like a nice crunch to it. All right, so I'm done snacking on these 2 things. Now let me go ahead and get started on dinner.
So we are finally preparing my last meal of the day, and for dinner I'm going to make cabbage steaks with baked sweet potato. So for my cabbage steaks, I'm first gonna prepare my seasoning sauce. So I'm gonna first take a little bit of lemon juice. I'm gonna add a little bit of soy sauce, and I'm also adding in about 2 tablespoons of each. And lastly, I'm gonna take a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I'm also gonna add in a little bit of avocado oil. And for my seasonings, I'm gonna take a little bit of my Goya adobo and just add a couple of pinches. I'm gonna add in some garlic powder, some black pepper. And you guys, I'm so sorry. I typically don't use measurements. I'm really just adding it as I go. And as I'm adding in my seasonings, I do a test taste to see if I have to add in any more. I'm gonna add in a little bit of paprika next. And to give it a little spice, I'm just going to add in a little bit of red pepper flakes. And I love my Goya sazon, so I'm just going to add a little bit of it. Don't go too crazy with the Goya. And lastly, for some sweetness, I'm adding in some honey. And this is also gonna make my seasoning sauce thicker. And that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a nice stir and move my seasoning sauce over to the side. So now it's time to prepare my cabbages, and as y'all can see, I have a medium-sized cabbage, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut my cabbages in slices vertically. So this size cabbage gave me about 4 slices, and grabbing my pan, I just covered it in aluminum foil, and it's already coated in avocado oil. And I'm just going to place my cabbage slices onto my baking pan. And next, I'm just gonna simply add my seasoning sauce on top of my cabbages. So as y'all can already tell, this recipe is super easy to do. And just like you would prepare your meat and season your meat, it's pretty much the same concept with the cabbages, hence the name cabbage steaks. Alright, so now that I have my cabbages well coated with my seasoning sauce, I'm gonna cover up the top with my aluminum foil. Next, it's time to prep my sweet potato, and I'm just taking a small piece of aluminum foil, and I'm simply just gonna take my sweet potato and wrap it in the foil. And that is it. So I had my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I already threw in my cabbage steaks in the oven. And next I'm gonna add in my sweet potatoes and let my cabbages bake for about 35 minutes and let my sweet potatoes bake for about an hour. All right, you guys, so it's been 35 minutes and I took the cabbage out of the oven, and this is what they're looking like. They look really good and they are ready to go. You could pretty much take them out right now and eat from here. But this next step that I'm about to show you guys, it's optional, but for me personally, I like to add cheddar cheese to my cabbage as well as sweet onion. I just feel like it makes it taste so good. I'm gonna go ahead and take my cheddar cheese, and this is the one that I use, and I'm just going to sprinkle it all over my cabbage. Now, I like to let my cabbage cook first before I add the cheese, because obviously if I were to add the cheese first, it would have melted early before the cabbage cooked. So that's why I like to put the cabbage in the oven for about 35 minutes before I add my cheese. And then next, I'm going to take my sweet onions. I already chopped and diced them up. This is about the size that I cut them up into. And then I'm just going to drizzle it on my cabbage.
Now that I put my cheese and my sweet onion, I'm gonna go ahead and cover it up with aluminum foil again and put it back into the oven for an additional 10 minutes. Once everything is done, I'm gonna show you how my dinner looks. All right, so after about an hour, both are ready to go. I'm just gonna cut open my big sweet potato and add in a little bit of butter. And I just wanted to show you guys real quick what I would usually drink for dinner. So typically whenever I'm eating my dinner, I always like to drink sparkling water with my meal. And this is by the brand Spindrift, and it is in the flavor lemon. Now this brand have many different flavors in their sparkling water, and it tastes really good. So that is it for dinner, you guys. This meal was super quick and easy to do, and it's also really low in carbs and calories. Bon appetit! Whew. All right, you guys, so that was all for this video. I am exhausted. I literally have been recording all day, so it is time for me to just unwind and relax before I go to bed. So thank you guys so much for watching this. If you made it to the end, you are the true MVP. For real, I really hope that you all found this video to be helpful, and if you did, please don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe to my channel before you guys leave. Comment down below if you have any healthy recipe ideas that you want to share with me that you do on a regular basis. Please feel free to comment down below and share with me any tips or suggestions that you guys have for me that, you know, I could implement in my routine. I'm always open to learning new recipes. Also, don't forget to thumbs up this video, share, and subscribe to my channel before you guys leave. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.